I haven't been on IG Live in I feel like a long time. I think it's funny that people aren't more embarrassed when they admit how local they are. You know? Like the people, 'cause I'm sure y'all have seen the internet comments where it's like, who listens to Russ? I don't know any, I've never met anyone that listens to Russ. It's like, I know that you and your 6 friends in your zip code, you know, who've never been on a plane, don't listen to me, but newsflash, there's more people out there, you know, and you're just admitting that you're local, and just, it's so embarrassing. I don't know why people aren't more embarrassed that they're local as fuck. Like, why are you so vocal and proud about admitting that you're local and uncultured? It's so crazy to me. Like, oh man, it's just so embarrassing. Get on a plane. Get on a plane. You know what I mean? Get on a plane. Travel somewhere. Talk to people outside of your 6 friends in your zip code. Get on a plane. Even a train. You know? That's all. That's all. Shout out to the fans. I love the ecosystem and community we've built. It's incredible. It's incredible. You know? It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And shout out to the ones who are open to receiving the messages, you know? Yeah, 50 million was just, I'm not selling my catalog for any amount of money. It's an extension of my soul, and I'm not selling my soul. So, and that 50 million I'll make my music's already grossed 50 million. So it's gonna gross another 50 in the next couple years. So 50's not gonna do it, and neither is a billion. So I'm not selling my soul. So, but if you want to sell your soul, rock out. That's beautiful. You know? Rock out. Just don't act like you're not selling your soul. Don't act like it's some sort of something it's not. That is what it is. You know? I just look at them, man. These songs are like my kids. I'm not going to sell my kids away for any amount of money. So, I was trolling. There's obviously nothing beautiful, in my opinion, about selling your soul, but I'm not here to judge. Show your body. Relax. Take me out to eat first? Jesus. Buy me a drink? Yikes, man. It's intense. So, last show of the year is in Mexico City in a couple days. And after that, I'm excited to go home. Very excited. Very excited. Shout out to my fans in India just because they just go so hard for me. So shout out to y'all. I mean, look how like the 3 recent comments I'm seeing, right? Can I buy you a drink in Argentina? Heard you the most on Spotify. Love from Yemen. You like France? Can you add Virginia? Like, look at that. That's just insane. I'm your fan from Yemen. Like, this is crazy that the music got to this level, where it just spreads all around the world. It's a mindfuck to me. It's a trip. It's a trip. I was talking with someone and they were asking me like, oh, well, how is it that people from all over the world listen to your shit? It's because my music isn't regional. A lot of people make music for their zip code. It's regional music from the production to the messages are regional. The messages are only shit, people living in this tiny little local ass bubble could understand. And, so my response to people like, oh, well, how do you get people from international, territories to listen to your music? It's because my messages are global and universal. I think messages like self-belief and manifesting and, betting on yourself and, confidence and all things like that, those are universal messages. It doesn't matter where you're from, that shit that you can apply to your life. And, since I started trying to work on myself and read self-help books and stuff like that since I was 17, 18, I was really only interested in learning about sort of these universal laws and these universal ideas, So I just think that if you make regional music, just don't be surprised if the only people who know your music is that region that you made it for. Yeah, I have a Discord. Just want to know, what's your favorite song you've made? I don't know. Last Night is up there. Voicemail's up there. A lot of the songs I'm sitting on though right now are in that. When am I doing my next tour in the U.S.? Not for a while, man. Not for a while. I've done so many. I'm sitting here thinking about, and I love the fans in America, obviously. It has nothing to do with that. It's a matter of just allowing new music to come out, allowing there to be a chance at a newer set list. There's people who have been to 7 of my LA shows. I feel like I've done, I did Echoplex twice in one night, so that's 2. Then I did El Rey, then I did the Novo, then I did the Shrine 2 nights, that's 7. Then I did Staples Center, that's 8. Then I did Hollywood Bowl. I've done 9 shows in LA. 9. You know what I mean? I've done 9 shows. And it's incredible because they get bigger every time, so people still keep coming. But I just feel like I want to, the set list was pretty new this time. There was definitely a lot of new songs, but at the same time, I want to come back to America where people can hear not even just hear new songs, but just let there be a demand build back up again. Where it's damn, we haven't seen you in a minute. Now we really, really want to come see you, Absence creates demand. Yeah, I'm going to come to Europe. 2024 is the plan. I was just in India. Can't wait to go back, though. India was awesome. India was crazy, man. I loved India. This is one of the top questions right here. How'd you like India? I loved it. The love out there was next level. The food was incredible. I loved it, man. I loved it. Look at all this love everywhere, man. Salt Lake City, Long Island, the UK, Prague, I just dreamed of this. I really did. It's just crazy. That's why, I was talking about it yesterday, but not like too in detail. But, that's why I love coming to places I've never been to and just planting the seeds and doing some of these smaller shows. Because it's just like, this is what it's about. This is what it was always about, was doing shows that, maybe aren't the biggest shows, but hey, there's still fans here, and this is a place where there's just the most amount of growth, so go plant the seeds over there, and I like going to places where I don't see a lot of artists go to. Yeah, I'm working on Chomp 3. Number one advice you would give to an up-and-coming artist? Make music for you. Make the music that you want to hear. The best way to complain about something is to make your own. So instead of like complaining like, oh, this is what I think music should be. Why are they making shit like this? Why isn't there more this? Make that. Make what you want to hear, Make what you want to hear. And stay in the studio as much as possible. Put in the hours, Put in the hours and perfect your craft. And put out music consistently. A lot of people aren't consistent enough, Everyone thinks they're fucking Frank Ocean. And it's like that you can just put out a song or an album and disappear for 5 years. It's like, yeah, you can when you're Frank Ocean. You know what I mean? But it's like, y'all are not Frank Ocean. You have 28 followers. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So, yeah, and the other thing is, if you are interested, like, I would say this, set your intentions, So if your intentions of being an artist, if your intention is just to like, hey, I just want to speak to these people or speak to this region, then do that. But if your intention is to impact the world, then you need to have worldly messages, meaning messages that go beneath the surface, messages that aren't just about how, the gas station around the corner from you is a shitty gas station and you shouldn't go over there after 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Not that there's not a lot of people who could relate to that. I'm just saying, like, touching on sort of like universal messages and themes, stuff that just deals with like interpersonal work, shit that has depth. That's if you're trying to impact the world. And incorporate melody. Melody and message is how you impact the world. That's always what I've said when people ask me, how did you get a global fan base? Melody and message. A lot of Americans have this fucked up mindset. They just assume that everyone gives a fuck about America and gives a fuck about speaking English and understanding the culture. These people are not speaking English everywhere, man. So doing all your rapidy rap shit, thinking that you're gonna have a massive global fan base, you can, but like, you better have some melody sprinkled in there. I'm just being honest. These people don't speak English like that. But melody is the language of the world, you feel me? So, melody and message. I think that's why I've been able to, looking at this past year, it's just been incredible, the collaborations I've been able to do. I collaborated with artists in France. I collaborated with artists in India. I collaborated with artists in Brazil. I collaborated with artists in the UK, Ed Sheeran. I collaborated with artists in Nigeria. It's like, It's just melody and message. Malaysia, I miss y'all too. Malaysia was, honestly, this whole tour, I would say, as far as like crowd participation and who is the loudest crowd, who is the craziest crowd, that was just like their energy was on 10 the whole night and they knew more songs than all the other crowds, I would say was Malaysia. For sure. I also want to tell people, listen, right? It's very difficult for us in this day and age who grew up, being fairly addicted to attention, and being on social media and looking at numbers, looking at comments, looking at other people's shit. You get into the comparison game and you start feeling like you're not shit, and et cetera, et cetera. And for the artists watching and listening, right? Majority of these people's shit is fake. You feel me? It's fake. It's just fake. And how you should know it's fake is just use me as an example, right? Go look at the likes I get on posts and the comments I get, right? And then go look at the shows I do, right? So I did Hollywood Bowl in LA, 17,000 people, right? Now, if everyone's numbers were real, right? If everyone's numbers were real, then, and if social media mattered that much, then technically anyone who has more followers than me, gets more likes on their pictures and more comments, then they should be able to not only do Hollywood Bowl themselves, but depending on how much more likes or followers, they should be doing 2 of them. They should be doing the stadium. The reason why they're not, and the reason why they won't, and the reason why they can't, is because social media is not real, okay? And I know that's hard for all of us in this day and age to like not go down the rabbit hole of comparison and looking at other people's numbers, but these labels are boosting streams. They're buying fucking views. They're buying followers. They're doing all a bunch of shit to make something look like it's more important than it is. And there's a theory behind that. It's because they hope, they're preying on people's FOMO. Meaning, if they can make this thing over here look like a bunch of people are fucking with it, even though it's fake people fucking with it, it's bots, the hope is that these real people will be like, damn, I'm missing out on something over there. Look, there's a crazy party going on over there. I gotta go check it out. So they hope that by creating fake hype and attention, it will actually garner real attention due to FOMO. Put it like this. If everyone's streams are real, y'all saw my Spotify Wrapped, correct? Y'all saw my Spotify Wrapped. Okay. Any artist who did more streams than me, tell them to go do the Hollywood Bowl. They should be able to do it easily if it's real. Otherwise, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? What are we talking about? So I don't want y'all to get sucked into that comparison game and looking at numbers on a screen all day and thinking that it really means too much of anything. For the artists out there, just work on building up your ecosystem in your community. You know? Yeah, no, the craziest show I've ever done as far as just like a mindfuck was the Pyramids. I mean, it's the most insane shit. Like, hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Yeah, don't get caught up in the comparison game, man. Just build your ecosystem and community. That's it. I love the community that I have and how self-contained and self-sufficient it is. You know, it's like I just feel like we're in this ecosystem. There's no other word for it, really. We're in this ecosystem, and it's like new people come in every once in a while, but if y'all don't, we're good over here. It's completely fine. Like, we're self-sufficient. We have our own food. We grow our own crops. We fucking get our own water. You know what I mean? It's like, we're good over here. And I feel like that's what it's about. As an artist, you don't want to have to rely and be dependent on the industry's ecosystem or someone else or another artist's ecosystem. Like, oh, I got to make sure I'm always collabing so I can, like, be getting the benefits from their ecosystem, because my shit can't stand on its own. You don't want that, you know? Something every independent artist should know and should be doing. Making sure that without trying too hard, that you are making the brand called you. It's actually a book, The Brand Called You, I think. And meaning that I come across a lot of artists, a lot of up-and-coming artists who they might have cool music or potential, but you go to their page and it just looks like there's no branding. You know what I'm saying? There's no branding, meaning like, what are you about? Outside of the music, what are you about? You know, how do you approach your content? How do you approach your style of everything? Like, what's the brand? You know, what are you about? And I think that's really important, and that gets people to buy into you as a person. Like, I feel like for me, people have bought into the music, but people are still around now. I'm going on 7 years in this shit now. You know, I blew up in 2016. It's about to be 2023. And I think people are still here is because, yeah, the music, but also because they've bought into me as a person, you know, and what I'm about and what I talk about. And I think that's really important, you know. I think there's a lot of people who complain nowadays about, well, it should just be about the music. It never was just about the music. When was it ever just about the music? Everyone back in the day had a crazy brand or crazy image. Like, when has it ever been just about the music? Ever. You can either complain about the game or you can play the game you want to play and let the chips fall where they may. You know? Listen, I got a lot of Portuguese fans and a lot of Moroccan fans. So I don't want any of y'all mad at me. I love all of y'all. I love all my fans. Every World Cup, like, it gets sketchy for me because I got fans in all these countries and they all start hating each other. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, wearing the Messi jersey because I'm in Argentina, just showing respect for an Argentinian legend. It's like, man, my DMs were going crazy. I'm like, dog, listen, if I was in your country right now, I'd be wearing y'all's favorite player. Relax. You know? Musical identity has to fit your brand identity. Is that factitious or did that arrive naturally for you? Yeah, I think for me, it just kind of arrived naturally. I was just being myself, you know? And, you know, across the board, I was being myself in my music. I was being myself in my interviews. And so after time, you end up cultivating this brand. And if the brand is based off of you being yourself, you don't really have to worry about, like, oh, fuck, that's right, I'm in an interview, I gotta put on that costume now, or oh, fuck, that's right, now I gotta, you just be yourself, and after a while, you know, it becomes obvious what the brand is, and the brand is you. But, yeah, this is fun. We'll talk later. I'm gonna go drink water and